What up? I got Naskin here with me. This ain't a diss song, but yeah, you know what it is. I'm a cheesehead, y'all niggas cheese whiz. Pittsburgh Steelers, that's nothing. That Super Bowl ring, that's nothing. Pull up in your town when you.
That happy throwing a touchdown pass as you were to Mercedes there at the end.
Well, I'm always happy throwing a touchdown pass, but a little something special with Mercedes, just because the kind of guy that he is, the kind of player that he is, what he's meant to our team this year from a leadership standpoint. He's a pro's pro. I mean, he's hasn't been a huge factor in the passing game, but he's been a rock in the run game, opening up holes for us and doing his job, never complaining, leading by example. Just at this point, I couldn't have thrown a touchdown to the better guy.
Aaron, the 4th and 10 play, how big was it to get momentum kind of going? You guys were kind of slogging at that point a little bit.
Yeah, I think that was kind of the play of the game. We needed a drive there, and I love the aggressiveness from Matt. And I kind of held it, and Side Gmo put his hand up, and was fortunate to get it in a good spot there.
Coach talked about you guys embracing the conditions today. How much of that was a factor that you guys were?
Oh, I love the conditions. I admit I was a little worried that it might be more rain than snow, but when those big flakes were falling down, I felt pretty good about our chances.
You told us last week that, hey, you're going to have some games where people think you should win, but you have to go out and put together good performances. Did it take a little too long to get to that point today?
No, I don't think so. I think it was just a disjointed game with the time of possession. We had 4 possessions in the first half. We scored the first 3, and then we had a 2-minute where we had a penalty and couldn't convert. We really had 7 drives when the game was within, a couple scores. And we scored on 5 of them. It's just one of those games where, they were ball control. Our defense did a good job, forcing turnovers and field goals. But it's hard to kind of get into that rhythm of the game because, we just didn't touch it a whole lot.
Aaron, Coach talked about how you guys didn't really lose confidence after what happened last week, but when you get, you throw a bunch of touchdowns, you guys get a double-digit win. Does it feel a little bit more like, okay, this is right, this is where our team should be going?
Well, we feel like we should win a game like that against that opponent. They've been struggling this season, but you still have to go out and execute. They get paid too, and there's a lot of pride on that football team and a lot of good players as well. So it's important for us to, get a good road victory in a game that you guys all expect us to win, and we expect to win. But to go out and to finish off that game in the second half like we did was important.
It seems like this season, you guys you've taken a few more deep shots on 3rd and 8, 3rd and 7, 3rd and 9, right in there. Am I perceiving that right? And what goes into the thinking there of whether to go underneath for a little higher percentage, keep the chains moving, or take the shot? If you hit it, it's big, but then if you don't, you're punting.
Yeah, I think there has been some feast or famine with some of those, but it comes down to decision making, on me. I think Matt does a good job of giving us, a lot of options on the play with some underneath stuff and some shots down the field. It's just about calculations out there and figuring out where you think the best matchup is and highest percentage throw. I think there's a couple times, as I look back on it, I probably had some underneath stuff, but we took some shots down the field. I love the aggression from Matt today. We took shots early. We had a nice keep that I pulled up, and Allen ran a nice route. I just felt like we were taking some shots down the field, and he was trusting me to make the right decision if it wasn't there.
Because like in the first half today, you took one to Devontae on a 3rd and 8, I think. Did you see the penalty thrown underneath? Because you ended up getting a holding call. It wasn't a completion, but you got a holding call on it.
Yeah, I didn't see the penalty thrown, no, but it was on Allen. I liked the matchup pre-snap. The guy was playing off in the slot on Devontae. But they had, I probably stared it down a little too much because I think he ran and was a part of it. But I did like the matchup, and I liked the play call.
I forget if it was Broncos game where you said you didn't have a spot on your jersey. Was this the game where you had the most time in the pocket, do you think?
Yeah, protection was great all day. I told the guys, that was a nice, fairly clean day with no sacks. I felt like my movement in the pocket was good, and but it felt very comfortable at times. We did a good job of mixing up some cadences, but I thought the communication up front was really good, and when I had to get the ball out, I wasn't holding on to it.
What did you see from Brian, especially after coming back and just having a little bit of practice this week?
Yeah, I told him how proud I am of him after the game. I think it sets a great example about the difference between being hurt and being injured. For Brian to push through the pain and to play is, that's why he's the leader of a football team, and he has the respect of the guys because he, went out there, and not many people probably after the injury last week thought he was going to be available this week, and who knows down, weeks after that. But, I think he's just stubborn enough to want to get back out there every week.
I know you guys are professionals. How does it move the other piece to go out and do what he does given what he's gone through this week?
Yeah, tough situation for sure, especially to find out, on like you did Friday morning after Thanksgiving when we're all counting our blessings. That was obviously really tough for him. So, we wrapped our arms around him and supported him, but he's been through a lot this year. I mean, he really has. He's a great friend, a great locker room presence for us, and I do applaud the organization though for, again, reminding us that where the priorities are, and allowing him to get down there and see his brother, and as well as this upcoming week.
Can you just take us through the sequence on the 3rd and goal from the 17? You caught them with the extra guy on the field, and then you found Devontae on the free play.
Yeah, they've been subbing, at times during the game. We haven't done that in a while, so maybe it wasn't on their radar that every now and then we, try and catch you. And I could tell there's some confusion. They ran 2 guys on. One guy came off, and I think it was a nickel who came on. He realized that the guy he was supposed to come in for wasn't coming off, and so we were able to get that thing snapped off. And at that point, it's just making sure you give your guys a chance. I felt like things were kind of collapsing after my initial look. I looked to make sure that he was not off the field, and then looked to, kind of a first couple looks. I saw Devontae at the corner of my eye kind of break inside, and it wasn't like a special pass or anything. I just kind of laid it up there, and luckily whoever was in the slot kind of took 2 with him, and Tay was open.
Did you substituted on that play? Did you guys
No, we did not substitute.
So
No.
that's why if you had, maybe they would have stopped the
Oh, for
play
sure,
there.
yeah. They watch that stuff, and I'm watching too, making sure, if I know we haven't subbed and they might sub, then you never know.
Last year, you guys came to New York, not a lot on the line playoff-wise at all. I mean, it was, but again, you guys won. You showed a lot of fight. Is that something where you have a lot of young players on that team, and you're like now in December, that can pay dividends? You just keep fighting?
Yeah, I think there's something to that. I mean, that's why I wanted to play last year when a lot of people were questioning what are you playing for, and it's pride. That being said, this is a lot more fun when you're playing meaningful games in December. I think there's a lot of different ways you can motivate yourself or take inspiration from certain things. Last year was playing for Joe because of how much we love Joe and appreciated what he meant to our team. This year we're playing for something collectively that's pretty special, and this was a step in the right direction.
All the off-schedule stuff you guys had a lot of success with today. Is there any feeling at all that you still have to be better on the on-schedule stuff, the rhythm of the offense and being able to run and pass and any of that stuff?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we ran the ball especially well today. They got a pretty stout front, especially their 2 interior guys are big wide body space fillers, good players. But yeah, we got to keep working on the timing. I think we need to continue to be effective on time because although the elements change kind of the whole process sometimes and allow for more off-schedule plays, we can't expect to hit that many as we did today.
2 more?
Yeah, is that part of winter football? And I wondered if it was any different in this stadium today than it is in Lambeau when you have days somewhat like this.
Yeah, I mean, the footing, playing on an artificial surface is different than playing at Lambeau. When it is snowy, the flakes were obviously really, really big today too, and wet, so it changes the feel of the football. But I've always felt like the conditions can allow for some more off-schedule stuff because field conditions, weather conditions, the cold changes some of the rush patterns and rush lanes. And like I was telling Manny, I may be a smidge under 5 in the 40 now at this point, but I feel like I'm a little quicker in the snow. Comparatively, that's what I said.
Last one?
I remember during training camp, you kept saying, Alan Lazard, this kid can do this. I know he's made some big plays, but can he consistently be what he was today for you guys?
I think so. I mean, he made a couple really big plays today. I mean, obviously, the first catch got us going when it looked like we had him off sides, and he just flashed, kind of flashed a hand. And when I threw it, I mean, the ball just came off a lot farther left than I was hoping. What a great adjustment, and then the weather and the wet ball, to come down with that while he's going to the ground was pretty important and special. I've always said about Alan, he just has a calm demeanor. He expects to make those plays, and you love that as a quarterback because he gives you confidence back that it's almost like, hey, ball should be coming my way. Well, you're a second-year guy. Throw me the ball.
That second one caught deep in the middle, was that a little bit off schedule? Was he working his way as you had a lot of time in the pocket, I think?
A lot of time. I couldn't quite see him, to be honest, and that's why I was late on the ball. They had about 4 guys inside. 2 went to the deep half, and I was a little nervous that the underneath guy was gonna be in that zone there. But he, I think it was Geronimo or Marquez, or one of those guys just ran down the seam and he went with him, and that was the key to the play. You guys see the completion to Allen, but the seam route really opened everything up, and I was just late because I couldn't see where the other guy was.
Oh yeah. Young Moolah, baby.